I just had a question that just went over my head. What's your idea of what's your definition? Not what society thinks, but what's your definition of um, the Great American Novel?
That is a loaded question.
It is. I be coming with it sometimes.
Okay. Again, um, I would say, gosh, okay. When I hear you say the Great American Novel, for me, this is correct. What comes to mind is Hemingway, James Baldwin, people like that. Um, and not because of what they wrote per se, it's because of where they've been, where they wrote, how they wrote, what they saw. It's really weird. So I don't even know how to define that because I think that, yeah, for me, the great American novel, I guess, represents, it would represent an experience, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Um, a very immersive experience that takes the reader to a place that they have never been or they felt like they've never been. And it's a story that like lives with you for an eternity. Like it's one of those stories that you will never forget. You will always remember. Like that's what I think of when I hear the great American novel. I don't even know if that's right or wrong, but or what you
No,
were
that's your
looking
answer.
for.
Your answer
Oh,
is your
okay.
answer.
They're probably like, this lady's crazy.
No, my idea of the Great American Novel are stories like Demon's Dream. And the reason why I'm picking that one this week is because I remember everything. It
Hmm.
started out with a bang,
Yeah.
it was emotional, it was descriptive, it was, you started rooting for the bad guy. He learned something. It was all these different emotions.
Elle Kayson's one
Yeah,
of my
it was
favorite
here.
authors. She's
Yeah,
one of my favorite authors. So.
exactly. Mine too. And to me, that's the mind that I don't think of the great American novel as what society says. I think of it as what drives me, what got me emotionally involved, what got
Yeah.
me rooting for whoever I'm supposed to be rooting for. It got me trying to figure out uh, his mind and how it worked.
Yeah.
It was excellent. I can't talk. Excellently executed.
Yeah,
You
it
know, like
was
word puddle.
brilliant. I got to meet her in Houston and I literally bought all of the books because I've read her entire catalog.
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling her as she was signing, I was like, I love your writing. I was like gushing because I just think she's such a phenomenal storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love a good storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
And Elle Kaysen is absolutely, hands down, one of the best storytellers that I've ever had the pleasure of reading.
Right.
I thought, so like I said, like these are not, but they're two of my favorite authors of all time because of their storytelling. J.R. Ward and her Black Dagger Brotherhood series. This woman can write. I mean, I love that series. And
Mm-hmm.
then Lords of the Underworld by Gina Showalter, her series, the way she writes, I used to be like, if only I could write as immersive as she does, as visual.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're like some of the greatest writers. And I know a lot of people, at least in the circles I run in book circles,
Mm-hmm.
are always have like they come off like they have a little bit of a disdain, but I love Brenda Jackson. And what I say about her, I know she's very traditional and old school.
I love her too.
I feel like she's a purist. And what I've always said is she knows how to write beautiful Black romance. And she does it very eloquently. And I always was like, I want to write as eloquent as her, but as dirty and nasty as like Zane, but eloquently as Brenda Jackson. Like that's how I always thought about how I wanted to write books. But yeah, people are always like, oh, I don't really like her. But because I'm like, I know she's old school. She's like a purist. Like you're not going to get
The
juices,
smut.
all
You're
that.
not
Yeah,
getting the
stuff
smut.
from her.
You're getting careful and it's refined love.
But she's good at and her character building because I love her characters. The Medeiros, this is the thing. That's how I know I love her because the Medeiros family line, I know all of the Medeiros brothers and their sister Christy. Like, and that was one of her older. Like, if you came to, I'm in my office right now. If you could see, I have an entire 1, 2, 3 rows like of books that's all Brenda Jackson.
Wow.
That's how much I love her writing. And then I have like a whole row of like J.R. Ward and Gina Showalter because I'm obsessed with them. And then I have all of Elle Cason's book. And then
Is it the Westmorelands? Is that
the Westmorelands, yes. The
see, y'all
West,
thought I didn't know stuff. I do.
and they go on and on. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, the Westmorelands, the Medeiros, like they're my two favorite families. But yes, so I have like writers like that. Like I love, like I'm like, oh, I can only aspire to write as good as them. That's what my goal is. Like I'm always looking for writers who write better than the best writer, like that I think is the best writer. That's who I want to go read because as an author, like if you follow Stephen King, I love Stephen King. He talked a lot about, especially in his early career, about writers read just as much or more than they write. It's like if you're not reading, how are you writing?
Exactly.
It was like, and of course you're reading in the genre you're writing in, because how do you know how to write that genre if you're not reading it? And I took that advice like to heart. Like, and it works for me because if I'm writing like my contemporary stuff, I cannot read anything urban romance, urban fiction, fantasy, nothing. I can't watch anything that is outside of fun, cute, lovey romance, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm heavily impacted by my environment when I write for whatever reason. But I just think that, oh my God, sorry.
Okay, you're fine.
I just think that, I don't even remember what the question was.
I was asking about um, the Great American Novel and writing. That's fine. You're good.
Because you know I'd be sometimes like out the window. But yeah, I just think it's up for interpretation too. I'm definitely with you that it's not probably what, you know, they say it is. Because for me, it's not one novel or one book. It's more of a, I don't want to say a feeling, but for me, that's what it is. It's more of a feeling that, because for me, there is not just one great American novel, there are several. And it's because they do different things to me. Like
For me,
impact.
it's if a story can draw me in and I feel like I'm in that thing, like I see it, like
Yeah.
I'm right there with them. They just can't see me. I'm there. I'm in it. You know what I mean?
That's what I like too. And you know what's funny? So when we wrote a scripted podcast. Well, actually, it started as a screenplay, and we were in the Austin. what was the name of it? It was the it was like an Austin Pitch Festival or whatever, where we entered that script. And we won. We actually won. But part of the feedback that they gave, and goes back to when you asked me about like screenwriting versus like novel writing. Part of the feedback the judges gave us was like, it's too prosy. There's too much detail. And so when you think about writing a screenplay versus writing a book, that's why I say when people are like, oh, when they talk to us about going from book to film and they're like, can't we just write our own screenplay? No, because I don't think you understand that converting a novel to a screenplay is not as easy as you think. Like, you can't put all that prosy stuff in there. It's dialogue and screen directions. And if you don't know how to write a script, you don't know that it's dialogue and screen directions, and you don't know what pushing in means, then how are you going to write a script? If you don't know like camera directions, how are you going to write a script, right? Because when I write a script, I will be like, in the opening scene, exterior, you dolly into XYZ, or you push out. And it's like, as a director, you know what that means. But as just a novel writer, you may not know that's how you have to translate it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Play. So I just had to throw that out there because that's a huge impact on whether or not you think you're going to go from screenplay to writing novels and vice versa.
All right, so we're going to change just a bit.
Yes.
We're going to learn a little bit about you.
Oh, man. No.
What hates to see you coming?
What hates to see me coming? Gummies. Gummy bears. Crab legs. They hate to see me coming. Gummies for sure.
That's funny.
If you know, you know. If you don't, for sure.
Yeah, I know.
For sure.
What is something that everybody loves but you hate? While she's thinking about that, Liv, you know what kind of gummy she's talking about.
Everybody loves, but I hate?
Mm-hmm.
I'm an Aquarius. I hate everything that everybody loves. I do. I hate everything that everybody loves because we've already done it. Yeah, it's Aquarius season. Y'all gonna be sick of me. I don't know. You stumped me because what is something that everybody loves that I hate? It's usually the opposite. It's usually stuff that I like that everybody's like, that's weird. I don't know. I have to pass. I don't know.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
fine. Describe yourself in one word.
Humanist.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm trying to think what would be my word for you.
Yeah, what would your word be for me?
All consuming.
Really? Why? That's
Because you are no, I'm gonna take that word back. Knowledgeable.
oh. Well, thank you.
When I
That is
mean
a
all
huge
consuming, I
compliment.
mean knowledge. You have so much knowledge.
Oh, thank you.
That's what I mean by all consuming.
Yeah. That is such a compliment. Thank you.
What's your idea of success? What's your definition of success? What it means to you, and have you reached it?
I have reached success several times in my short life. Because I've had a lot of wins. I've had a lot of setbacks, but I feel like my setbacks only for my personality type, a setback for me is just getting me closer to a win. Because I'm like, me get set back? What? we just like Aquarius, like we don't even like I'm very forgetful. So I may not even remember that I lost. I may not even remember that. What I do know is I'm going to go ahead and be better now.
Right.
Um, so I feel like I have had a lot of successes and I'm going to have a lot more. But so to me, success constantly changes. It's not stagnant. I found success in filmmaking when we made it to ABFF, like the African American Film Festival, the largest Black film festival in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And we were finalists, and we got to rub elbows and meet like Black elite, Black Hollywood. I was like, we got to talk to Kathy Hughes, the owner of TV1. And
Mm-hmm.
I got to go meet her personally and chat with her because we're both from Omaha, Nebraska. Something I probably would have never got to do. That was looked like success to me. Me doing my first author signing at Boozy Book Tour Houston, I was like, to me, that was success. That looked like success. I think I'm quieter about my success because I like to move in silence if I can, and I like to remain as humble as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I think that's what success looks like to me. And like, I can see so much more. Shoot, me publishing that book was a success. I'm pretty optimistic and I love being happy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I love being around happy people. I don't like drama. Like, I just want to have a good time. Like, I really just want to have a good time.
I get it. With all that you have going on, how do you balance it all? You're an author, you're a screenwriter, you are a director, you have a day job, you have a companion.
Yeah.
How do you
Quite
balance it all?
frankly, I don't know. By the grace, listen, I really don't know because I'm constantly like, oh my God, I have so much going on. I have so much going on. I have so much going on. I'm always saying that. I think I'm a I will say this, I am a very spiritual person and I I'm a person who leans heavily into my ancestors. I have a very close relationship with my ancestors. Um, and I feel like they're always at my back in a good way. And I am a believer that we are supposed to ask for help. And I'm a believer that we have, our ancestors, we have our guides, we have helper angels, we have people around us that we don't see that can help us
Mm-hmm.
if we ask. And so I think that a lot of times I feel as if I'm being helped along when I feel like if I'm overwhelmed and there's a lot going on, somehow something will come to help me. Whatever it is, it could be a person, it could be I see something. Um, Heck, it could be even somebody giving me my favorite candy out of the blue, whatever it is. It's like something just comes out to help kind of level me out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's kind of how I deal with it, if that's what you call it. Because I'm always kind of like, I don't know my ass from my elbow half the time. I don't. So that's why I'm like, I must be getting help because I don't know what I'm doing. Sometimes, like,
It is what it is. But again, you're doing this. It looks effortless from
oh,
my lens.
well, thank you.
It
I
does.
pulled
It
back
looks
the curtain
effortless.
now.
I don't know what be going on behind the scenes. I don't know if you read about here screaming and hollering, whatever the case may be. But yeah, yeah. Uh yeah. How do I block him? Because he's doing a whole lot. But I'll figure it out later. Um. Anyway, back to us.
Yes.
Um. That just put me off my little thing. If you could collab with anybody, would you ever want to collab with anybody? And there you go.
Um, yes. First of all, this is a this is a good question. I think that I would like to collab with um a couple people. I would love to collab with Elle Kasim because I love her writing. I would
Mm-hmm.
love to collab with um oh uh I would love to collab with Mo Flames because I love her writing. Um I would love to collab with Brenda Jackson because I would learn so much. Just because I would learn so much, I would love to collab with her. Um, and then, of course, there are people, but like they're not. Do they have to be like with us or? Oh, okay. Because there's some other writers that aren't with us that I would love. And for me, I would love to collab with them only because I would learn so much. So um, I love Hemingway. I just do. Um, uh, James Baldwin. I would love Edgar Allan Poe. I know he's morbid, but I'm a huge fan of Edgar Allan Poe. John Donne is the first. Death Be Not Proud. The very first poem that I had read, where we had to write in that similar style. That is when I fell in love with writing. I was in the 8th grade, and we had to do that as an assignment. And I have not stopped writing since. So there are different people like Emily. I love the classics too. I love Bronte. I love the classics. So my list might be a little weird, but
Your list is
those
your
are the
list.
people. I like the kind of writer I love. I want to work with any writer that is an immersive writer that tells a good story, that does their research in the fact that if you tell me your character, don't laugh at me in the comments. If you know, you know. But if you tell me your character is Italian, you cannot have them speak Spanish because someone like me who speaks Italian and Spanish is going to read the story and be pulled out of the story because you keep saying hijo, and hijo is Spanish, not Italian. I love writers like Jaquel J. The way she writes, she's the phenomenal writer. Nobody can tell me anything different because she's a great storyteller. She's a great writer. Um, there are just so many great writers. Like I would work with all of them.
Shannon, can you block these people, please? Because they're doing too much. Thank you. Um, if you can invite 5 people, 5 writers, 5 writers or authors. It doesn't matter if they're screenwriters, they're authors, whatever. To dinner, dead or alive, who would they be?
5. I invite. Oh, you said they'd have to be writers. Sure.
Writers or authors?
Okay. Um, I'd invite James Baldwin. I'd invite uh I'd invite J.R. Ward. Ooh, I'd invite um what is his name? I have I can't remember his name. I'm gonna skip because I can't remember his name and I don't want to be. I'd invite Yeah, I'd invite Brenda Jackson. I'd invite I think I'd also invite El Kaysen. I just and then I'd invite Issa Rae.
I want to say a whole bitch, but I love that list.
Yeah,
I love that list because first of all, she's a good writer,
yeah,
but she's gonna bring Issa to it.
yeah.
I love that list.
That's why I love her. All of these people, like there's so many more I could name, but I just named a few because I read a lot and I read a lot of fiction and nonfiction. I read a lot of nonfiction too. But like the reason, like James Baldwin, just to have him tell me about what it was like to be a writer, a black writer, a queer writer, at a time when America didn't accept him, and him having to go to Europe and them accept him. Like, I would love to talk to him about that. I would love, like, I'm so obsessed with Hemingway. I just want to go to Paris, to every place that he wrote, and I want to sit there and write. Like, that's why and I want to know what he's thinking. Like, why did you pick these spots? Why were you there? Were you really like, I have so many questions. And then I told you about Brenda Jackson. I just want her to impart her knowledge on how she writes such beautiful black romance. Like, absolutely. And you know why I said El Kaysen, because I want to understand her storytelling and the genius behind it. Like, I just want to learn. I feel like all of the people that I named are so much better writers than me that I can learn something from them. I never want to be the smartest person at the table in the room because I'm not learning anything. And all I do is learn. I learned everything. That's why I'm like, I have so much useless. I think people are like useless information, but I'm like, it's going to come in handy, y'all. I learn everything I can. And I behoove black people to do that. Learn everything you can, especially the things they tell you you should be afraid of. Learn them because we're going to get left behind if we don't. That's my TED talk, but
I want to thank you because when I first started Pop Your Shit, it was just on a Friday, and you were one of the authors in my life.
oh, I
And
was.
you helped cultivate this.
I did?
Mhm.
What?
Yes.
Oh
You were
my
one
God.
of the first authors in my life. It was
Oh,
you, Lasonda Moore, and it was a few other people. And then it's some crazy stuff that was happening, but you were one of the first authors in my life. It was just a Friday, and Olivia Linden was in there. There was a few other authors that came through, and it gave me the idea to keep going. Keep going. You got something here.
oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
I love that. Like, if
Yes.
I can, I always want to help people. Like, that's one thing about me, especially like women, black women, people of color, black people. Let me just, black people. I'm always going to bring y'all with me if I can. Like, I keep like you can if you ever talk to my business partner, I'm always like I'm always going to have my hand behind me because I'm always going to want to bring somebody with me. I'm
Right.
never going to snatch my hand or pull up the ladder. I'm like, no, I'm bringing everybody with me. If I could, I would bring everybody with me. I wish everybody had that same mentality because the more community we build, the more people we bring with us, the more strength we have, the more power we have. Like, power in numbers is a real thing. People listen when you have numbers. And the black dollar is so important. And black women, we control the dollar, we control the black dollar. And why wouldn't we just rally around each other and pull each other up? Like, that is so important to everything I do. Like, that's why I want to try and shine the light on like indie authors and let everybody know that we're out here writing these stories that people are gobbling up. And would they want to see them on screen? I think so. Why aren't y'all putting them on the screen? Okay, fine, we'll do it ourselves. Like, that's so important to me.
Yep.
Like, just to inspire anybody is like crazy, because I'm always like, who am I? I'm just one person out here trying to make it. That's like what I think all the time. So it really makes me happy when people like are inspired to do things. Like, I love it. I love it.
I'm with you. I feel like if we would just take ego out of it and stop being worried about what other communities think about us, and if we just band together, that is the reason why they're trying to tear us apart, because they know if we band together, we gonna change some shit.
I mean, we think how quickly they done started to Hilltop University. I said, go ahead and tell a black woman what she can't do, and watch what we will do. Like, it is insane, the tenacity, the snapback, just and the fact that it comes from a place of love, of community, of togetherness. Like, I always hate it because everybody's always telling us, "Oh, y'all can't stick together," but we just showed y'all with numbers that we can. When we need to, we can stick together. When it matters, we gonna rally around and we gonna get it together. But we constantly hear others telling us how we don't get along, and we just run with that narrative. And I'm like, we just proved that is not true. Let's run with that narrative. Like, let's run with that.
I'm telling y'all, if y'all have never read the book Brainwashed, and I don't know, the author's name escapes me. It tells you how, when we were brought over, how they brainwash us and how they continually are trying to continue to brainwash us. Like, we're ugly, we are lazy, we're this, we're that. And when in fact it's the other way around.
Absolutely. I think we're in the find out phase, though, because I think that we are in the age of Aquarius, honey. And one
Yeah.
thing I know Aquarius is gonna do, we gonna breeze through and fuck some shit up and keep it moving.
That's
We not
it.
even gonna look back, because obviously what happens needs to happen.
It
That's
does.
our like, obviously. I mean, what happens needed to happen, and we just gonna keep it moving. But we gonna turn some shit upside down. That's what I feel like is happening just everywhere right now. And the age of Aquarius is the age of truth, the age of knowing. And so the unknown is known, the unseen is seen, everything is coming out. The interesting thing about it, and I don't really talk about this online, I usually keep all this stuff offline, but is that it's, to me, what I'm seeing is that it is allowing people to reveal themselves. And I don't think they understand what is happening as they're being revealed. Um, but it's a good thing, I think, because now we all know.
It wasn't us.
Right,
We tried to tell you, but you didn't want to listen.
right. And it was some of us.
It was a few, but 92% of us that did. Most.
Right. But
We
what
tried
it
to
did
tell
for
you.
me, like, I went through I crashed out for like a couple days, because I have such faith in humanity. Like, when I say I'm a humanist, I have such faith in humanity that even in a country that I knew had its problems. I'm an Air Force brat. I come from a military family. We've been stationed everywhere, and that whole world in itself is very insular. It's a whole nother world within the world. And so whenever the election happened, through my therapist, what I learned was I was so utterly heartbroken by a nation that I had so much faith in, because I always felt like, with all of our problems, inherently as a nation, we were good people. And I felt like, especially right after, when we didn't really have the numbers and they were making it seem like it was this landslide and
Mm-hmm.
people have spoken, I was so heartbroken by that. I had a whole crash out, and I just felt, I didn't even feel like I was inside my body. It was that visceral. And I think that, like, where we're at, it's so important for us to stick together, to have our own things. If there was ever a time to be self-sufficient, it's now. If there was ever a time to support each other, it's now. And the crazy, I know this is off topic, but you got me going. The crazy, I'm like, the craziest thing that I've been hearing, and this may be an unpopular opinion, but it's my opinion. And you know what they say, opinions are like, we all got them. I'm just one of many. But the discourse with all of these black businesses and these big box stores and how just screw them and all of that, I get it, but also we're just going to tear it all down. We're just going to allow them to let us tear it all down. These black businesses that worked really hard to get what they got, and we're expected to just tear it all down. Because I just don't know that that's the right thing to do either. Because who wins? I don't know who wins. I don't think anybody wins. And then we've ruined all these black businesses. So that part of it, I struggle with that in this whole thing. But I just think we're in an age where when we come out on the other end of this, man, we are going to be haggard. That's what I think. But I think we're going to come out on the other end of this as better people. And I hope it's in my lifetime, because I don't know when that's going to happen, but I hope it's in my lifetime. Because I think we are now already seeing kind of the blinders are coming off. Like I was heavily indoctrinated into the U.S. culture, United States, if you will, like a patriotic, probably because military child. But this place could do no wrong for me for a very long time, regardless. And so now with this age that's come in, for me, it's like rose-colored glasses have fallen off.
Yep.
And so I'm having to contend with that. But I think that it's all going to work out for the better.
Yeah, but the thing is, we as Americans, we as African Americans, we as however you want to call yourself, we have to learn to pivot.
What do you mean?
We have to learn to pivot. If the big stores fall, we
Yeah.
have to figure out how to support these brands that we love so much.
Yeah.
Business owners are going to have to learn how to pivot.
They
So,
are.
yeah, the other day I was like, okay, so what did TikTok's blackout teach us? What did it teach us? We cannot heavily rely on social media
Right.
to handle our business. Where's your website? And you heard me. Where's your website? Where are your goods and services? How can we contact you? Where's your email list? Where is your are you collecting emails? Are you sending out flyers or newsletters or whatever it is that you're doing?
Yeah.
How are you reaching your people? How can they find you? Because if these big businesses go out of business because we decide we're not going to shop there no more because they have not earned my money because I'm not spending my money where I'm not wanted, I need to be able to find you on your website. And then you need to figure out, okay, so if they ban books, for instance, because that's where they're trying to go, how are you going to get your work into the hands of these people? You have to have a list of people, of your customers. So they're saying, hey, they're banning our books in bookstores and the Zon is not carrying us anymore and we can't sell them in retail stores. But if you still want to read my work, You can get them from me directly. We have to learn how to pivot.
Well, yes, we always have to, because the only thing that's constant is change.
That's it.
So,
Until they see us and they hear us and accept us for who we are, not for what they can get out of us.
well,
You have to learn how to pivot to create a space for yourself so that you can continue on as business as usual.
I
You
agree.
cannot rely on one thing. People was crashing out because TikTok was gone. Well, what if all of them were gone? Then what are you going to do?
I was at peace when TikTok was gone, to be honest. It was the most peaceful time. Nobody was yelling at me through this phone and nobody was enraged. But I agree with you. I do think that there is a lack of grace floating around, though, because on all sides, because also, like, for example, I just want to write. Candidly, all I want to do is write. I don't want to get up here and make TikToks. Like, I don't want to be in the forefront. I want to be behind the scenes.
Right?
But that's not where we're at in society. So I have to be in the forefront.
Right?
Um, and so if I didn't have to, I wouldn't. So sometimes when you have these business owners, especially if they start out small and they're doing everything themselves and then they get tired, they finally get some big distribution or whatever, and they're like, yes, I don't have to do everything myself. I think some of that gets lost too. And I think we also have to have a little grace to say, especially if they say, I understand where you guys are coming from and I am working towards getting my stuff moved. Because all of this, let's be honest, even though we may have thought it was going to happen, it kind of just happened really quickly.
Exactly.
And they didn't really have the time. I don't think they even thought it was going to happen. And so I just want people to go back to having a little grace for people and give them time to, one, process what just happened to them, because that's huge, what just happened to them. Nobody on here is talking about what just happened to these Black men and women who created these products, and now this stuff is being snatched from them. What's happening to them mentally? What are they going through? Nobody cares. Everybody's just dogpiling. That's what I'm talking about, the lack of empathy and the lack of grace. Because give them a minute to breathe and process, oh, my shit's messed up. What do I do? What do I do? Okay, now I got to start a website. I got to just change my distribution. There's so many things behind the scenes that have to go on that people are not giving these folks any grace, zero breathing room. They're
Exactly.
giving zero breathing room.
You have
And
to give them that. But as a business owner, you have 30 seconds to say, okay, let me fall apart. Now you got to rebuild. You have to figure it out. That is an entrepreneur.
I don't believe that, because
I do.
the reason that is because of social media, because we have now become a society of the snippet, and we don't give people the grace, the time I'm not saying give them days and years, like even weeks, but this lady didn't even get a day to process what happened. And she's been fighting for her life. And I'm not going to shop at Target either. But that's my personal choice. But I do understand the ramifications. I wasn't a big customer of her stuff like that. I maybe bought one or two things. I'm not like a diehard fan. But I just want people, I just think humanity, we've lost so much. We've lost so much grace that we used to show people, that we used to show each other, and kindness and empathy. I mean, you had someone on TikTok crying about what's going on with her people, and people, instead of having empathy to say, oh my God, because that is what's happening in our country, and she's feeling that so deeply that she's crying. Instead, they're laughing and making jokes. I'm just like, what have we become? I just want us to be kind.
I
Like,
get that. I get that. I'm not saying don't be kind. I'm saying as a business owner
mhm.
with a popular product.
And she might have had stipulations where she couldn't sell through other channels. That's the
Exactly. So
thing.
my
People
question is,
don't know
what do
that.
you do outside of that? So my thing is, you have to put on. I'm not saying you got to turn around and do something else, but she might be contractually obligated to stay there for X amount of time.
Right.
She might be contractually obligated to whatever it is that she has to do. All I'm saying is, while you're contractually obligated doing these things,
Mm-hmm.
create your plan.
Well,
Create your plan
yes.
so that you can execute into the next phase.
But we
That's
don't know. I guess we just don't know what people's individual plans are. Because what if she said, I'm getting older. I'm going to write out this, let's just say 5-year contract, and then I'm done with all this. What if that was her plan?
and then that's her plan.
And then this happens and threw a wrench and she needs a minute to collect herself. All I want, because you're not wrong. I just want people to show a little grace and a little consideration. Because this is a time where we can't throw the baby out with the bathwater because the baby is our baby. And it's okay for us to say, you better hurry up and get your stuff together because when we said what we said, we gonna give you a month, lady, or whatever. But just to continually dogpile is crazy.
But I'm not trying to.
I'm not
What
even
I'm
that
saying is,
big.
I'm not trying to dogpile. All
Yeah,
I'm
not
saying
you.
is,
I meant
yeah.
social
But what I'm
media.
saying is, don't dogpile. I'm not. I'm not advocating for that at all. All I'm saying is, have your fallout. However long that takes, do what you got to do. But in the meantime, while you contractually obligated, while you are going through after you've gone through your motions, you have to, as a business owner, figure out what your next steps are going to be if this does not work out. Because
Contingency
they,
planning should always be
these
a
big
thing.
businesses don't give a fuck. They just in it to make money. That's it. They don't care about her home life. They don't care about none of those things.
Well, contingency planning is always a good thing, but that's a whole nother conversation you'll get me into because a lot of folks that start their business on social media don't know how to do business the proper way, so they're not going to be prepared. So I would just suggest everybody who starts a business, you still need to go learn some things about it. Because nowadays anybody can start a business anyhow, anywhere, anytime. That don't mean it's going to be good business. I mean, there are fundamentals of business that one needs to learn, and that's lacking. So I don't know. I'm on all sides of it, right? I work for a business. I own a business. I am a business. So um, I just think about because I am a person that knows my wheelhouse. And if I get into an agreement or in a space where I'm able to expand and do something, I'm going to be like, wait, that's not my wheelhouse. So yeah, let me sign this because I'm only going to do this for this contract and I'm not going to worry about anything else. So you just never know what their thought process was, and what social media has allowed us to do is has allowed us to yell at people and talk at people across the screen and say things and be less empathetic towards people than we would if we didn't have it. Because in person, people are not this unempathetic. People are not. Um, People don't watch someone hurt and laugh, someone crying and laugh at them. People get worried, like, oh God, what's happened to her? Social media has turned us into something else.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother conversation because I could get into, but we don't want to get into that. We don't be here all night because I have thoughts. I have thoughts.
Wow. And we will talk at length one day.
We will. And maybe in Tulsa. You're still going to Tulsa.
And
Okay,
I
good.
have my ticket. My room is almost paid for. Ready to go.
I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
Um, where do you see Rowdy Rowski in 5 years?
Um, in 5 years, oh gosh, in 5 years, I better be in my house either in Mexico, Costa Rica, or somewhere in the Caribbean, writing. Um, that's where I see myself in 5 years. Um, that's the plan.
Okay. Okay. So, where can we find you, ma'am? How can people reach out to you?
They can find me on my socials. I'm mostly on TikTok. I do have Facebook, but I never use it. It's a place that I don't like to dwell in. But anyway, I do have an Instagram, and everything is at author Rowdy I love that at author Rowdy Rooksy. It's all the same handle. Oh, I have news. I'm revamping my YouTube channel. So I had started a YouTube channel a long time ago that I never used. And because when TikTok went away, I was like, I better, like you said, diversify and get my stuff in other places. So I started my YouTube channel. There's nothing on there, but maybe like 2 or 3 shorts that says like, hey, but I will be posting over there. Because I'm a gamer, I'm a simmer. If you guys know, you know, I'm obsessed with The Sims 4. I will be doing a series that I don't want to give too much information, but think gaming and my books. Just think that. But if you are a gamer, like head over there and check me out. And then also the big news is I am starting a Patreon. Okay, remember we were on that chat? So you and the rest of them all inspired me too. But so I am starting my Patreon. I'm pretty excited. I oh you sorry, I got sidetracked. Yay Sims. My Patreon is for Blackwood. So I have a series, Blackwood, which was on Kindle Vella. And you guys know Kindle Vella is going away. So I had to figure out where to move it because it's a serial and it's written that way, like a television series style, right? And I was like, where am I going to put it? So Patreon. And it's super cheap. And you're probably going to be like, why are you charging so little? But like, it's like the first tier is only like $3 and you will get all access to the series. Season 1 will all be up, and then I'll start posting season 2 each episode. But it is behind a paywall because I had to, you guys, because of the type of story it is. On Patreon, they was like, ma'am, this is 18 plus. You can't have this. Nope. They were like, nope. They were like, you have to put this behind a paywall. And I was like, okay. So the first chapter is made to the public. So you can read the first chapter for free, but then you'd have to subscribe to get the rest. And they were like, no, ma'am, it's that spicy. They told me I couldn't have it out there all willy-nilly.
What did we talk about, ma'am?
We did. And yes, you're the one who was like, you need to put it out there. Where's your stuff? Get it out there. I was like, I'm getting it out there. I spent like the whole weekend working on that Patreon page. And you know what's crazy? So you have to submit it and they have to review it. And they were like, chapter 9? They were like, you're going to have to edit chapter 9. And I was like, what? They were like, you can't publish this. They were like, they said, because it had explicit content with family members. And I was like, I don't write that kind of stuff, guys. What are you talking about? And I'm like, I had to write them back and be like, can you explain? Because none of these people are related. And there was all these other chapters where they were bang, bang. And y'all didn't say nothing. Chapter 9 of all chapters, they were saying that 2 relatives were like getting it in. I was like, no, they weren't. They were like, you cannot publish this. Like, that's how wild it is over there. Yeah. So everything has to be behind a paywall because it's spicy. Like, y'all know I don't do fade to black. So they were like, ma'am, you can't be here unless you put this behind a paywall. So, but it's $3. And I feel like that's affordable, right? Okay, see? That's what I said. But yeah, so you guys will get the finale for season 1, and then I'm going to start posting season 2 because those are like quick hit episodes. So those are pretty easy for me to write. I can usually write those in a day and a half.
I'm so happy that somebody was listening.
I know. You gotta wait for the membership though, Storm, because they because of Chapter 9, they were like, you gotta wait. I had to wait to appeal, and now they have to republish it my page because they were like, Chapter 9 is too spicy. They
You
literally
can do that. I don't. I have to look at the legalities of fan base too. But listen, I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. I'm proud of me too because
So
I was
proud of
like,
you.
I had to do it. I'm like diversify. So now I've got Patreon, I have the YouTube channel, I have TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. But yeah, that's where you can find me, or you can find me on my website, which I just noticed it looks kind of weird, but I don't know what's going on. I'll fix it. But on my website, you can check me out there too, or you can go to the Rowdy Gunshy website and see our services that we offer as well.
So what's your website?
Mine is authorrowdyrooksy.com.
Okay, and your do you remember that gunshot, the Body Gunshot website?
Yes, it's rowdygunshyproductions.com.
Perfect.
Yes.
I think that's it. That's it. No, I do have a question. I have two little fill in the blanks.
Oh, okay.
Blank is life, and then we're gonna go.
What'd you say?
Blank is life. Fill in the blank.
Freedom. Freedom is life.
Bam. And then the last one is my pen is,
Unpredictable.
and you ain't lying about that. You are not lying. I totally agree. Thank you so much for coming on for Pop Your Shit. Um, if y'all don't know if you should be following her, I'm going to suggest it. This, you know how you recommend stuff. You know how I was like, y'all read this. I'm gonna need y'all to follow her. Y'all authors, y'all need to be following her because she is doing extraordinary things.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
All right, so let me pop my shit real quick. So tomorrow, I will not be on Pop Your Shit because Tylee, Mark by Tylee, has some extreme. I can't say the word. She has some circumstances that could not be avoided, and so she will not be able to come on. And so Asia Cornish and Tylee would not be able to come on. So I will be free tomorrow to be in Storm's podcast. Isn't that wonderful, Storm? On Sunday, I know she's like, oh my God, she's going to tell me to do something. On Sunday, we have author Lady Nisha. I'm excited about that. For the month of February, Asia Cornish is, Lady Nisha is going to start it off, but we will have K Powell, RK Renton, merch creator Latoya Watts, author Fatima Monroe, author Mo Flames, author Micah Rain, author Jatoria C, author Chemistry J, author Eddie D, author Letitia Rayner. I'm excited. I need to make sure. Let me circle this because I forgot. Author Riel Knight. We will have. I will be in Tulsa from Thursday, February 20th through the 23rd. I'll be leaving, going to Atlanta. In Tulsa, I will be the official podcaster. Thank you, Storm. Thank you, Shannon. So I will be in y'all face with my little tiny mic once I get it to work.
Yay. It's a lavalier?
Huh?
Is it a lavalier?
Yeah, I think I have the wrong mic for the wrong connection. So don't worry, I got it. I figured out. I just didn't have time to get the other one. On Sunday, on the 23rd, I have Jaleesa Reeds. I have author Cartier. I have author Monica Walters. We'll be talking about the 4 Bs and ending this month. I have author Jade Jones. So I'm excited about that. I sent up posted a save the date for March 20th, which is my birthday.
Oh, nice.
And for my birthday, I will be giving away 55 books. Some of them are series. You might be getting whole series. I have authors sending me books all the time, and it might be a little over 55 books. Who knows? Um, what else? So I have March 20th is open mic. So if you guys want to read something from your catalog, if you want to sing, if you want to dance, if you want to tell a joke, whatever, it's open mic. I'd love to have you on. So we're gonna see how that works and see if we'll do it again. Also, I started a physical book club for the Bay Area. So our second meeting is 2 p.m. The tentative location is Monaghan's in Oakland. It's called the Bay Area Book Club. So I'm very excited about that. The first meeting was very good. We will be reading Isla Cox's Just a Taste series. So make sure that you guys mark your calendars for that. That will be on February 16th from 2 to 5. If y'all not following the Boozy Book Tour, I'm gonna need y'all to follow it. I'm gonna need y'all to. Tickets are available, right, Storm? Right, Shannon? Make sure that you're following the Boozy Book Group. Huh?
I said they need to come out to Tulsa.
Yep, come on to Tulsa. See me, see Rowdy, see Storm, see Shannon. I believe Victoria C will be there. I can't remember all the authors, but it's gonna be some authors, and I'm gonna be there acting a whole donkey, so it's gonna be a good time.
All of your faves will be there, y'all.
Exactly,
All of your
exactly,
faves will be there, so you might as well come.
exactly.
And then you might meet some newer authors that become your faves too. Like
that one next to me.
I like the goofies. My God.
You're fine. So I'm excited about that, and we will see you guys on Sunday.
Yes, if you haven't read Thicker Than Spoke, please pick it up. I mean, it's on Kindle Unlimited and all that. So,
well, I tell you that story's good. Y'all better go get that story. I'm serious. Like,
you can hit me in my DMs, but also leave a review because I'm like, thanks everybody for hitting me in my DMs, but can you leave a review?
Because I was gonna text you. I was like, why would I text her when she's coming on in a little bit? I was gonna be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But I tell you, Nev got on my nerves.
I know. I wish I could tell you what's happening in this story, but I would spoil it for everyone because this story is crazy. This stuff, if that's happening, I'm like, why is this happening? This is not the story that I was supposed to be writing.
Well, the story that she wasn't supposed to be writing is writing. But we shall see. I'm excited. Her next release, she's thinking around February 11th.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm waiting. I'm patiently waiting. Oh, also, let us know when your Patreon is up so that we can go like and subscribe over there. So make sure you're following her on all her platforms.
Yes, you guys gotta follow me. Patreon. I'm gonna be. I got more boxes in because I'm getting ready for Boozy Book Tour Tulsa, and you know I open my stuff on camera, which usually is a disaster, but I have like boxes to open, so I'll be making videos.
How many books are you bringing
to Tulsa? Probably not as many because I'm going to be more focused on the wrong things. I haven't decided quite yet. I will tell you this. I don't think I'm going to bring my whole catalog. I think what I will bring is the assignment because everybody loves the assignment. And I will, oddly enough, I will probably bring one weekend, which I don't promote because it's part of a duet and book 2 is not done. But at Houston, I almost sold out of one weekend. And it seemed like, I was like, are y'all getting this so y'all can come for me because I don't have the second book out yet? Is that why y'all are getting this? But it is extremely spicy. Like, this is the one that's closest to erotica.
I need that book. I need one weekend, and I need the the Thorns and what is
Thorns
it?
and Gloves.
I need that one because I already have Vanessa's choice. I also have the assignment, so I need those two, and then I'm gonna need Thicker Than Smoke.
Now that one I haven't even put in paperback yet because it's so short. I was waiting until I had a couple of them out, and then I was gonna do a whole special thing.
Well, whatever. Let me know.
And I'm definitely, you will get one. You will definitely get one. And also, guys, sorry, if you like are a beta reader, I'm always looking for beta readers. You can just hit me up. And
I'm not a
when,
beta reader.
yeah, if you are, because I got some for Thicker Than Smoke and I got good feedback. So I appreciated that. And I could use that for, because I have so many stories coming up, you guys, you have no idea. Um, so many. I have a Shibari series. It's like it's IR actually. It's Japanese and black.
Hmm.
And I let Storm start reading it, and I shouldn't bring it up because she's probably going to be annoyed with me because I haven't finished it yet. But there's that one, and then I have another sort of darker story that I let another author read the prologue to, and that one's almost done. I have so many. I have my Brotherhood of Anubis series. I have so many series that I have my cowboy series. I just have to, when the characters start talking to me again, that's when I just get on it and start writing. So
So, what? How many projects do you think you're gonna have 2025?
I am going to have, so the Ravenhurst series for sure. I'm actually working on finishing the final book. So One Weekend is a duet. So the second book in that series is called An Entire Lifetime. That is halfway done. So that one's going to get done this year. Book 2 in the Dare series, that's my like young adult series. There's 3 books in that series and I have to get the second one done. The plan is to get that done this year. I'm also going to write I'm going to Romance Con. So I'm going to write something for those girlies.
Mm.
So I'm going to write straight IR, straight for real IR, so I can take it to Romance Con because I know they like that stuff. Um, so I have a lot, and then from the film side, the assignment we've got to get on that. Like I started converting the book to screenplay, but I'm not satisfied with it. So I have a lot of work to do with that. But that's our big project that we're going to get started on is pre-production for turning the assignment into a film, and we have plans for that I won't spoil. But we hope to partner with some groups or people, maybe to see if we can, when it's all said and done, do a private screening and all that. So I'm pretty excited. We got some stuff.
I'm excited for you, and I'm wishing you so much blessings upon blessings because I see it for you. I don't know how you do it all, but baby.
Meditating. I meditate a lot too, by the way. For real, I go to the junk tide. Well, I haven't been in a minute. Let me not lie because I used to go all the time, but since I moved so far away, it's hard for me to get back over there. But I still meditate. I'm like, I have. You would be like, I'm like an intermediate level certificate for meditation. Like I can teach meditation. So I do a lot of meditating. I do. That helps. It
I
calms.
have to I have to get into something. I mean, I'll be praying. Like my sister was like, "Can you pray for such and such? Because your prayers be coming true." Oh,
You
look.
gotta stand in the gap. So we gotta call you when we need somebody to stand in the gap for us. You ever heard that saying?
Hmm. I was like, listen, like you what?
Yeah, because that's what we. So my sister, one of my sisters, is very religious, and we were always like, we gonna call her because she'll stand in the gap for us. She will. She will. Like she go hard. But yeah. So anyway, I'm excited, and I'm glad to honestly have met you and got to just be in concert with you because I think that. Um, you have a focus that a lot of us need. Yeah, you have a focus that a lot of us need, and I appreciate that. And you're very giving, and I like that. And you're very kind. Obviously, with me, I love kind people, and so I appreciate you and all the things that you do for indie authors and how you do your part to push them to the forefront and make sure they're a part of the conversation. So yeah, I'm excited for what you're doing this year, and I hope your podcast just like through the roof, like to the moon, like into the stratosphere. I hope that's what I hope for you. So yeah,
Thank you.
I put that in the universe for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But I think that I will continue the podcast, but I have other stuff I got to do. So I just turned down an engagement because I was like, I got homework to do. I can't even come outside and play with y'all. Don't even look over here.
That's what I mean by focus. That's what I'm like. One thing about you is you stay focused, which is good. Like we need that. Oh my gosh. And you will not hesitate to tell us too, where is your this? Where is your that? Get on this. And we need to listen. Like we do. We need to listen. So I'll
I
listen.
don't be
Y'all got
meaning to, but listen, I don't be meaning to be like taskmaster ish. It's just that if I be so excited, I just be like having to get it out.
No, but you do need to be because we don't listen. We hard headed.
But you did. I'm very
I
happy.
did because you were pretty adamant, which was good because I kept thinking like, she did. She kept saying that for real. It was playing in my head, and I just was like, well, let me do it. And then beyond that, also, I had to do it because after that conversation, I had talked to Mo Flames, and she was talking about her Patreon. I was like, it's okay. I got to do it. It's a sign. If one more person mentions Patreon and I don't do it, it's my fault. Like. So, but I appreciate you. I hope people understand the work that you're doing out here.
Thank you.
Because it's amazing.
Well, y'all, this is the end of Pop Your Shit. You will be back on, ma'am. I'm not going to even ask you. You just going to be back on.
I absolutely am going to be back on.
I will be seeing you in Tulsa if the Lord says so. I do have some reviews to do for you guys, and I might be feeling all right to do them tonight. So, I'll see you guys later. Oh, I'll see you guys on Sunday.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Happy reading, y'all.